What is up, guys? Rick Cactus here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And yesterday, a brand new secret mission went live, letting you upgrade the Hawkmoon exotic hand cannon, not only unlocking the exotic catalyst for this weapon, but also giving you the ability to get new versions with random rolls. Those are going to come with a random barrel, a random perk, and a random grip. So in this video, we are going to be talking about the best barrels, perks, and grips, and the combos of those things to let you know which Hawkmoon God Rolls for both PvP and PvE you should be looking out for. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, it's Wednesday, and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, myself, True Vanguard, and MTash host the Real Gamer Hour podcast, where we talk about the craziest things that happened in the last week for gaming. Definitely check it out. Link in the description. If you don't show up, you're not a real gamer. What can I say? I don't make the rules. Anyways, let's get started here. First things first, if you want to know how to begin and complete this new mission, I've done a complete guide for that. It's linked up above. Now, also, as regarding the exotic catalyst, that's something you should definitely do. It provides some significant bonuses. It's going to increase your magazine size by only 1 round, which is a good thing. I've seen a lot of people complain about this, but you want to get to your paracausal shot. That is the powerful exotic perk of this weapon. If you had a 20-round magazine, you'd have to kill like 6 different people before you'd get the benefit of the paracausal shot. In any event, it's also going to grant increased handling, reload speed, and weapon range based on the number of stacks of paracausal charge. And especially with reload speed, if you're a PvE player, that's going to directly influence your damage output because you're going to be able to reload faster and get to that next paracausal shot, which you're relying on for that damage output. So simply slip into, for example, the Thrallway checkpoint within the Shattered Throne dungeon, and you'll get this catalyst done in no time, and then you can slot it on to whatever your current god roll is. In any event, let's talk about those god rolls. Firstly, what people are mostly going to use this weapon for is PvP. So, in PvP, you're really looking for range and accuracy. Those are the hallmarks of a great hand cannon. The Hawkmoon at a base level has fantastic stability and fantastic handling, but does suffer a bit in the range department. Keeping these things in mind, the barrel that's going to stand out for most people is full bore. This gives you the biggest range increase of plus 15, but it does reduce your stability by minus 10 and your handling by minus 5. I would say that this is arguably the best barrel, especially if you're on PC, where that stability decrease doesn't matter as much. However, for a lot of people, they enjoyed how stable and how easy to use the Hawkmoon is, and they don't want to give that up. So an alternative is the extended barrel. That's going to increase your range by plus 10, and your recoil is also going to get a plus 10 benefit, but your handling is going to go down by minus 10. I would lose minus 10 handling over minus 10 stability in a heartbeat. So that's another alternative. And also, one I think is criminally underrated is hammer forged rifling. This is going to increase your range by plus 10, so only 5 off from full bore, and offer absolutely no downsides. So again, if you enjoy the stability, you may want hammer forged over full bore, and again, especially if you're on console where stability matters a little bit more. In fact, speaking of that, if you are on console and you really do value your stability, I think it may be worth looking at small bore. This is going to give you plus 7 to range and plus 7 to stability. So you're still getting a range benefit, nowhere near as much as full bore, but you're not losing any stability. In fact, you're only gaining stability. So again, I would say the S tier barrels are full bore definitely, and then hammer forged rifling, potentially extended barrel, and then if you're a console player who likes stability, consider small bore. But moving on from there, let's talk about the perks you want for PvP. Firstly, the A tier perks. These are very good, but you can technically do better. So firstly, we do have Quick Draw. This lets you draw your weapon much faster than normal, and this just gives you a snappier, more responsive weapon. A lot of people love Quick Draw. Also in the A tier category, I would put snapshot sights, letting you aim down sights faster. A lot of people forget, if you can aim down sights faster than your opponent and start shooting them before they can start shooting you, that's a pretty big benefit. And also I would put in this category, just barely, it's kind of almost S tier, but Eye of the Storm. So this weapon becomes more accurate and boosts handling as your health gets lower. Essentially, if you're in a gunfight and you're being wounded, your gun will gain accuracy, helping you win that gunfight over your opponent who potentially isn't getting that same bonus. Those are some good perks. Let's talk about the best of the best. So in the S tier, this is going to be firstly opening shot. So improved accuracy and range on the opening shot of an attack. Essentially, when you're starting a gunfight, that first shot could potentially do its max damage out of the normal range of a lot of other shots. And just that first shot potentially doing max damage and potentially getting that accuracy bonus and landing where it otherwise wouldn't can sway the gunfight in your favor. Opening shot is one of the better hand cannon perks out there. Anything involving range, people absolutely value when it comes to hand cannons. Speaking of, another S tier perk, rangefinder. So aiming this weapon increases its effective range and zoom magnification. So that is just straight up gonna increase your range with every single shot, not just the first one of an attack like opening shot. So rangefinder, again, with a hand cannon, it is extremely valued. This is gonna be an S tier perk for really any hand cannon out there. And also, I would say in that S tier is Killing Wind. Final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. Now, I would say that I think a lot of people are going to value opening shot and rangefinder because those are always going to work, whereas Killing Wind, although I would say S tier, is only gonna give you those benefits after you've already gotten that first kill. And a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but the benefits you get are truly insane. The range bonus is huge. The increased mobility is massive, and it lets you strafe side to side much faster than your opponents, letting you win the next gunfight and the next one and the next one. Killing Wind has proven itself as a fantastic PvP perk. But moving on from there, let's talk about the grips you're looking for. And admittedly, the grips are the least important part of your roll. So if you do get like Hammer Forged plus opening shot and you don't have the best grip, it's still gonna be a very good roll. But if you're going for that utter god roll, here's what to look for. Firstly, Combat Grip is going to give you a plus 20 benefit to your recoil, and that can definitely matter, again, especially on console. Then another great one, Heavy Grip. That's going to give you plus 10 to your stability, but minus 10 to your handling. I would take plus 10 to your stability over a downside in handling any day of the week, especially good if you have full bore, because that's going to negate the stability penalty that barrel gives you. Another one to potentially look out for is Smooth Grip, because it just gives you plus 5 stability, plus 5 handling, no downsides. Alright, now we've talked about what you're looking for in PvP, but what about PvE? Because this is actually a very viable exotic primary. It can take down raid bosses with how much damage Paracausal Shot puts out. Well, here, in terms of stats, you aren't really looking for range as much as you are within PvP, but range can still definitely matter, so the barrel doesn't matter as much. But in terms of perks, there is something I would go for over any other perk, and that is actually Surplus. Increases handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability. So why am I going for Surplus? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It increases your reload speed, and every other perk on this list doesn't. So that means As we talked about earlier, with the catalyst, an increase to reload speed directly influences your damage output, especially with how expensive hand cannon loader mods are for your arms, and how expensive other great Charge with Light and Warmind Cell mods are. Like, being able to have a huge reload benefit from the combination of the new catalyst as well as surplus really helps you get that damage on target, kill those bosses or bigger enemies or even normal enemies much faster. And not to mention, this thing is incredibly accurate if you get a roll built around surplus. Check out my PvE roll here with Arrowhead Break giving a recoil benefit, and surplus and combat grip giving another recoil benefit. As you can see, if I'm shooting as fast as I can and I'm not compensating for recoil, this thing is a laser beam. And then if I get rid of my abilities, you can see without surplus it is still pretty good, but definitely not quite as good. And so guys, there you have it, the PvP and PvE God Rolls for the Hawkmoon Exotic Hand Cannon you should definitely be going for. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activities, the best way is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.